This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. And maybe in our world here, there lives a happy little mountain.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin and I upload a whole bunch of different types of videos on this channel, mainly surrounding true crime as well as a little bit of university and lifestyle sprinkled in where I can. So today I'm back with another video. If you didn't know, I'm uploading a video every single day this week because I thought it'd be a perfect time in the run up to Christmas. And today we're going to be discussing the true story that allegedly inspired the film The Shining. Now, I've done a few of these videos in the past where there have been like confirmed cases and stories that have definitively defined and inspired films of certain things, but this one is definitely more of a we're not sure that it definitely inspires, but people believe that it could be, or people believe that certain elements of this experience have inspired the film. So I thought it would be worth discussing because The Shining is such a classic film. If you've never seen it, then definitely recommend it. I'm sure pretty much everyone and their mothers has seen the film now because it is an absolute classic. So if you want to hear a little bit about the story behind The Shining, then keep on watching and we shall just get started. So The Shining was allegedly inspired by some occurrences that happened in a place called the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. The hotel was originally opened in the year 1909 by a couple known as the Stanleys. They had intended for it to be like a luxury mountain resort, I guess, but just a few years into the hotel opening, some really strange occurrences began happening at the site. So even staff and customers alike, they would witness these really strange occurrences all across the resort. In 1911, there was a housekeeper who was working on the grounds. Her name was Elizabeth Wilson, and she was inside the room at number 217 during just a random storm. So it was like a lightning storm had occurred, but strangely, really strangely, and obviously it's a very unfortunate and very unlikely thing to happen, but she was electrocuted inside the room. She did survive the unfortunate accident, luckily, but ever since then, the room 217 inside the Stanley Hotel has been reportedly home to a number of strange paranormal or allegedly paranormal, so strange occurrences. But not only has 217 been the home of a number of claims, but pretty much every room in the hotel has had something strange be reported occurring inside. So guests would report of really strange things happening, like their suitcases being unpacked without them doing so, so they'd leave the room and they'd come back and all of their items would be unpacked, and lights turning themselves off and on again while they had their backs turned, just things like that that were really strange occurrences. And it was said that the fourth floor in the hotel in particular could, well, a lot of people allegedly heard like children's voices laughing, echoing around the corridors, and also children's feet, so like groups of children running about the corridors, which is obviously quite actually creepy. And whenever any staff members, people working in the hotel, were asked about these really strange reports that people had been making claims of, they would each say that they believed they were happening. They weren't denying that they were happening, but none of the staff members, who obviously there quite a lot, so they'd spend a lot of time there, none of them believed that it was a dark or evil force that was creating these strange things. They believed that all of them were non-threatening, harmless. They were just these kind of strange sightings that they weren't even worried about. And then in 1973, Stephen King allegedly stayed there with his wife Tabitha, and they requested to stay in room 217 because it's probably to this day still the most popular room for them to stay in because of all these, it's like a hub of paranormal claims. And they were apparently the only guests in the hotel that night, so they'd requested to be the only ones alone in the hotel in hopes of them witnessing something strange like all of these claims had been making. But King says that they never witnessed anything immediately, like they didn't see anything strange or anything unusual, but they did both immediately upon entering their room feel as though they were never quite alone. And so Stephen King's novel and obviously the subsequent film were allegedly, or many people believe that they were inspired by some of these claims made about the Stanley Hotel. It was obviously quite an inspiration in the story, and obviously it can be linked to his experience of staying in the hotel. Like I said, they didn't experience anything immediately like paranormal, but the whole mood around the novel and the film kind of surrounds this feeling of paranoia and mind tricks when you're alone in this big hotel, and that is obviously something that could have been directly inspired by his stay with his wife while they were alone in the hotel, witnessing this feeling of never being quite alone. And the Stanley couple who originally opened the hotel have both since died, but there have been a number of claims of guests who have been staying in the hotel seeing both of the couples wandering around the hotel, wandering around the grounds, not like there was anything wrong. So some people who didn't know the Stanley couple, who didn't know what they looked like, didn't realise that they'd seen this couple allegedly. They just assumed that they were another set of guests in the hotel, but had actually seen this deceased couple. In particular, Mr. Stanley has allegedly been seen sitting behind the front desk. People claim that he just looked like he was keeping an eye on all of his employees, and Mrs. Stanley has allegedly been reported being heard playing the piano in the music room, but whenever any of the guests or staff members would try and enter the room to see who was playing the piano, they'd find no one there. So it's kind of a nice thought, I guess, a nice thing to end it on, because this hotel was obviously their life's work, and it's nice that there are these lovely claims about seeing the couple happily roaming the grounds. So that's everything I had to talk about today. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you have any requests or videos to do in the future, and I will see you guys very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.